All right, hello. All right, off the back of the video I reacted to, Vanda's song, August 1st, that I reacted to, I realized that I was obviously not quite clued up. You guys were telling me in the comments some of the latest updates and kind of what was going on, but I thought that I would dive a bit further into it to kind of understand, to educate myself, educate you guys maybe, spread awareness. As I've got this platform and I saw the views that got yesterday, I think it's only right to spread that message further of peace, and I'm just kind of get an understanding of what's going on, because I'm not gonna lie, I am so clueless when it comes to news, global news, politics, history as a whole. Like, I am more clueless than I should be. I should be more tapped in. But anyway, let's get into this. This is just about, like, are Thailand and Cambodia going to war, and hopefully a brief history of it and kind of the background, so I can get a better understanding. You guys can help me in the comments as well, fill in some gaps, and yeah, let's get into this.
On Thursday, clashes erupted along disputed parts of the Thai-Cambodian border after weeks of escalating tensions between the two Southeast Asian nations. The renewal of the long-running border dispute has already triggered significant political turmoil in Thailand, has fueled nationalist fervour on both sides, and taken Thailand-Cambodia relations to their lowest point in decades. So in this video, we're going to explain the Thai-Cambodian border dispute, the fresh fighting between the two countries, and what might happen next.
TLDR, too long didn't read, is what that stands for.
Don't feel overwhelmed by endless news stories.
Too long didn't read or too long don't read, and it gives you a breakdown.
Find out what you need to know every day with TLDR's daily briefing. Listen along in your favourite podcast app or by clicking the link in the description. Thailand and Cambodia share more than 800 kilometres of land border, and more than century-old disputes have been a long-running source of tension. The dispute has largely centred on the ancient Hindu temple of Priya Vihir, which sits on a cliff top jutting out of the Dang Rek mountain range, along which the border broadly runs. In 1904, the Kingdom of Siam, modern-day Thailand, signed a border treaty with French authorities.
The Kingdom of Siam. So that's what Thailand was called before it was called Thailand, I believe. I've heard that. I've heard that before.
In 1904, the Kingdom of Siam, modern-day Thailand, signed a border treaty with French authorities that said the border between Siam and Cambodia, part of French Indochina, would run along the watershed line of the Dang Rek Mountains, which in theory would place Priya Vihir in Siam. But the exact border was to be drawn up by the French on behalf of a joint border commission. This happened in 1907, but the French map placed the temple in Cambodian territory. In 1954, after Cambodian independence, Thailand occupied the temple and surrounding area, seeking to enforce its claim. In 1959, Cambodia went to the International Court of Justice, making the case that the temple and its vicinity was Cambodian, and in 1962 the ICJ awarded the temple to Cambodia in a 9-3 vote, but did not clearly rule on ownership of the wider vicinity. Thailand reluctantly withdrew from the temple in 1963, but the dispute was not settled for good. The area was basically off limits for many years due to the Cambodian Civil War, but as this came to an end in the late 1990s and the site began to become accessible again...
Damn. That is beautiful. I love this ancient history type things that have been around for hundreds or thousands of years. I love this stuff, man. I gotta go travel more. I need to travel more. I've got a lot of plans. to go traveling, especially in Asia. Let me know. Let me know some of the best spots.
The dispute resurfaced, particularly when Cambodia sought to register Priya Vihir as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008. Thailand objected to this, saying that Cambodia's application included the land surrounding the temple that belonged to Thailand. The renewed tensions escalated into military clashes along the border, which continued for the next 3 years, killing at least dozens of people and peaking with a week-long exchange of artillery in 2011. Cambodia went back to the ICJ that year, and in 2013 it ruled unanimously that the 1962 ruling had, in fact, awarded the temple's wider vicinity, i.e. the whole hilltop, to Cambodia. However, the court did not address other disputed patches of land, including another nearby hilltop.
So that seems to be one of the biggest problems here. There's a grey area of what exactly is who's in control. It's a territory thing, is what I'm getting. But that temple being the center, there's a pretty unanimous decision that that is Cambodian and that belongs to Cambodia. Yet it's the places, it's the area around it that they seem to be. Oh man, I saw this old territory thing with countries is it's boggling to me. It really is boggling, and I know it made so much more complicated than it seems on surface level. You know, there's probably a million things that have to go into it, laws, jurisdictions, all that stuff. But yeah, over land, it's always over land.
Fast forward to 2025, and things have once again escalated. On May the 28th, a brief skirmish between Thai and Cambodian troops along a disputed border area left one Cambodian soldier dead, with both sides blaming the other as the aggressor. This sparked rising nationalism on both sides of the border, and tit-for-tat actions, including border, trade and communication restrictions. It's also sparked major political turmoil in Thailand, which we've made a few videos about, as a phone call between now suspended Thai Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra and de facto Cambodian leader Hun Sen was leaked, in which Paetongtarn appeared overly deferential to Hun and even disparaged a Thai army commander. It sparked outrage in Thailand, as critics accused Paetongtarn of being weak and undermining national security. Interestingly, it was Hun Sen himself, commander. It sparked outrage in Thailand, as critics accused Paetongtarn of being weak and undermining national security. Interestingly, it was Hun Sen himself who leaked the phone call, and he's since been on a bit of a warpath, effectively calling for Paetongtarn's government to be ousted. People have speculated a number of reasons why Hun has done this. Could it be that he's trying to bolster his and his son, the Prime Minister's position, and distract from domestic problems? Could he feel threatened by the Thai government's plans to legalise casino gambling, which could damage the Cambodian industry? Whatever the case,
Thai's plans to legalise casino. My door just slammed. There's a storm coming here, so if you hear wind or flapping or the door, there's a lot of wind. I've got the window open because it's hot.
Casino gambling, which could damage the
legalise casino gambling. That's something at the top of that list. Okay, so I'm assuming casino gambling is illegal in Cambodia, and he's saying that that's going to kind of, if it becomes legalized through something. Wait, so Thailand has it this way. How is it going to just become legal? I'm
bolster
confused
his and his son, the Prime Minister's position, and distract from domestic problems? Could he feel threatened by the Thai government's plans to legalise casino gambling, which...
Oh, Thai's plans to legalise casino gambling. So obviously it's not going to happen in Cambodia, but in Thailand. And inherently, maybe is that a problem for the economy? Because when people travel to Asia as a whole or around them areas, they often go to different places, and that's where they get a lot of the money from this tourism. And they're thinking if it affects one place, it's going to subsequently affect Cambodia as well.
Could damage the Cambodian industry. Whatever the case, it has contributed to a major deterioration in bilateral relations alongside the border conflict. During this, Cambodia also announced it would go back to the ICJ to seek a ruling on the unresolved border areas.
Let's have a read.
Also announced it would go back to the ICJ.
Cambodia chooses international law and peace. Today, 15th of June 2025, the royal government of Cambodia submitted an official letter to the International Court of Justice, ICJ, to seek a resolution on the border dispute in areas of Tamon Tom Temple, Tamon Touch Temple, Chakrabe Temple, and Mumbai. I'm sorry if I butchered them. Coincidentally, 63 years ago, 15th of June 1962, was a historic day in which the ICJ had ruled in favour of Cambodia on the case of Preah Vihear Temple. So that was the thing that you mentioned earlier, where it was a unanimous decision. Well, not unanimous. Unanimous means that it was a majority decision that it was Cambodian. It was within their land, and they owned it, basically. Although these two events happened 63 years apart, the spirit and objective remain the same. Cambodia chooses a peaceful resolution based on international laws through ICJ mechanism for solving border dispute in the areas where issues are very complicated and have high risks of armed clashes and where bilateral mechanisms cannot solve, such as the case of Preah Vihear Temple over 60 years ago and the areas of Tamon Tom Temple, Tamon Touch Temple, Ta Krabi Temple, and Mumbai at present time. Cambodia only needs justice, fairness, and clarity in border demarcation and delimitation. delineation. I don't know what that word is. I'm not going to lie to you. With our neighbouring countries, so that our future generations will not continue to have issues with each other, seeking peace. It seems here. Obviously, there's always a million things that you don't know, but from this, it sounds like a peaceful resolution is all they want. Come into an agreement, but it's obviously easier said than done. Everyone knows that come into agreements is near impossible for countries or governments or different political things. It is always the case. May our compatriots trust the royal government of Cambodia in its efforts to undertake this task with strong wills and responsibility in order to safeguard our territorial integrity and for the best interest of the nation and people of Cambodia. Note, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation to dispatch an officer to take the official letter in person to the Royal Embassy of Cambodia to the Netherlands, with a residence in Brussels. On the coming Monday, the Royal Embassy of Cambodia to the Netherlands will hand over the official letter in person to the International Court of Justice at The Hague.
Today, to seek a ruling on the unresolved border areas, though Thailand rejects this, saying it doesn't recognise the court's jurisdiction and that it should be resolved bilaterally. But things escalated.
Should be resolved bilaterally. What does that mean? Is that them basically saying, no, you can't have it, we want it? So they're just being... They're being a bit greedy?
Further this week, as fighting resumed on Wednesday, when Thailand blamed Cambodia for laying landmines that exploded in disputed border areas and injured 5 Thai soldiers, leading the Thai government to expel Cambodia's envoy and recall its own ambassador. For their part, Cambodia claimed the landmines were leftover unexploded mines from its previous civil conflict, and recalled its embassy staff from Bangkok. This triggered a wave.
That could be easily proven. If that is true, they can test this stuff. They can test and they can tell you whether it's there or not. So there shouldn't even be a conflict with that. If they told them it was that and it was true, that's that settled. Obviously, it's not good. But
Of fighting, with exchanges
that can be proven.
Of fire along the border, each side blaming the other for starting it, before things escalated on Thursday morning, when, according to Thailand's foreign ministry, Cambodia launched at least 2 missiles into civilian areas, resulting in, quote, civilian casualties and fatalities. In response, Thailand released a statement calling on Cambodia to stop all actions that violate Thailand's sovereignty, and deployed F-16 fighter jets to bomb military targets in Cambodia, with the Thai army claiming later on Thursday morning that its mission had been successful and no F-16s had been hit. There was then more exchanges of fire in disputed areas, and as of 3 p.m. Thai time, the Thai army is claiming that at least 9 civilians have been killed and a further 14 injured. So, what happens next? Well,
So from what they've said there, it said that Cambodia fired the artillery first into civilian areas and injured and killed some civilians. So now Thailand is retaliating?
I think the most likely outcome is that things calm down, though things could get worse before they get better.
This is just outrageous, by the way.
That things calm down.
Humans come to this. Obviously, it's been the case for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, but it just still baffles my brain how, the amount of money that is spent on war, artillery, arsenal, all this stuff, all these things that are just meant to kill, basically. The amount of money that's unfathomable. You can't even think of the amount of money. It's just all just to have the edge on another person. Not necessarily to use it, but it's there as we've got this, by the way. So you don't want to do anything.
Down. Though things could get worse before they get better. There have been numerous skirmishes along the border over the years, and both sides usually find a way to de-escalate. It's also worth noting that a full-on war wouldn't go well for Cambodia. Thailand's population is about 5 times larger than that of Cambodia. Its defence budget is about 7 times larger, and its GDP is more than 10 times larger. However, there were at least 2 things that make this most recent round of fighting more susceptible to escalation than previous skirmishes. First, this conflict has already incurred a remarkable number of casualties. At least 9 people have already been killed, and this will probably end up being the most deadly skirmish between the 2 countries in at least a decade. Second, the political situation in Thailand means the Thai government doesn't really have the political space to negotiate a de-escalation. After that leaked phone call, the government will want to dispel the idea that it's in any way soft on Cambodia, creating an extra incentive to fight back and escalate. This will make negotiating a peace deal or ceasefire more difficult, because opponents may point to any concessions made as further proof that the government is dangerously soft on Cambodia. Ultimately, the risk here is
they're saying dangerously soft because they don't want to be seen as someone they can just be taken advantage of and pushed over, when that could be seen as taking, like, you know, trying to take a peaceful route. And then, oh, the rain! Wait. Nearly just flooded my whole room. There's a storm coming. Sorry. Nearly just flooded everything. Yeah. I mean, it's just not good, is it?
is dangerously soft on Cambodia. Ultimately, the risk here is that this escalates into a repeat of what happened in early 2011, when persistent tensions escalated into essentially a full-on war, which killed at least 20 people, injured hundreds more, and displaced tens of thousands of civilians. This risk is further heightened as the collapse in the close personal ties between the two countries' powerful political dynasties, the Huns in Cambodia and Shinawats in Thailand, has closed off one of the avenues that could have helped diffuse the situation. As you may know already, here at TLDR we're committed to learning about the world around us, and helping you do the exact same. Luckily for all of us, our sponsor this week, Brilliant, helps with just that. Brilliant helps you become a better...
Well, shout out to this guy here. I have just straight up reacted to it, and it's not my content, but I clicked on it because it seemed to be informative to learn. And this was made 10 days ago on July the 25th. So that thing, the Vanda's song, August 1st, and the thing that they did that you guys were telling me, that Thailand captured 20 Cambodians, said they only captured 18, and, you know, they haven't freed them. Maybe they've got... God willing, they're all safe and they're, you know, and they'll be freed. But I mean, there has been more escalations that have taken place since this video was made. So if you guys want, if there's anything else, if you guys have any videos or anything else that you want to send me, let me know and I can check them out as well to stay more up to date. If you guys want to let me know more information in the comments, please do. Stay safe is all I'm going to say. Just, you know, stay safe. Wish for peace and all that, because war is it's just a shambles, really. Humans at their worst. And unfortunately, it's in our bloody nature, it seems, because it happens non-stop. But yeah, you guys let me know, and I'll see you guys shortly. In a bit. Bye-bye.